Greetings everyone, Lumberg here. Hope everyone is doing well. I apologize for the delay in this video. I've been busy with real life with changing jobs and sick kids and just had a chance to do some research and put together a video. This video is going to be about Age of Origins ads and the potential misleading ads that brought many of us here. Before we do that, I wanted to show and give an update at least about Void Wars and how we did against 457. So we're going to dive into that now just quickly, and then we're going to go back to advertising. So thank you to NikkiNikki for doing an amazing Void video. I'm terrible at recording videos. And she is awesome, so we invited her to actually do a video. She did a lot of the battle reports, and I will link the video down in the description below. I think a lot of you have already seen it. A lot of you have asked about it. Please go and watch it. She did an incredible job with amazing humor, as she always does. The battle with 457 started off, with a huge deficit, as you can see here. We had some failed battles that you can see in the Nikki video, so that the gap actually increased in that first failed big battle. And then, we just kept hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and catching up, and then just kept on expanding the lead. Basically, 457 had no desire to really win it. It looked like they had a huge desire to just keep farming. I mean, you saw in the Nikki video, I mean, basically there was no farm that wasn't touched in 285. They were just hungry for resources, which is understandable. If you have 9 nations into one, you're sharing all of those. You're sharing the same land area that everybody else is in 1 nation or 3 nations or 4 nations. They have 9, right? So very, very hungry for resources and clearly didn't care about winning. So it honestly made it easier because there was readily available targets. Their farms had more than T4 troops. It was just easy to kind of rank up the points. So yeah, we ended up with a 5 billion win from a almost 4 billion deficit. So pretty impressive, but really less impressive because 457 really didn't try. We really couldn't win against their main alliance, which was, CFA. Every time we battled CFA, it usually cost us points. All right, let's get back to the main reason for this video, which is the ads. So if you go into the App Store and you go into the Age of Origins, the first thing you'll notice is that it says Age of Origins Tower Defense. Now, if any of you this is basically going to be helping people understand what this game is about and what it's not about, and how the ads are extremely different from what the real gameplay is. This is not a tower defense game. This is a strategy game. This is a war game. This is a build and battle and multiplayer game that has many layers to it. It is a fantastic game, but that is not what the ads portray. The ads portray something entirely different, which for mobile games, unfortunately, that is the reality. Most of these mobile games are clickbait, are misleading, and Age of Origins is no different. And we're going to explore that a little bit more further based on some research that we've done, that other people have done, that I'm going to share. Really, if you look at it right off the bat, it is not a tower defense game. There is 21 levels. Those 21 levels haven't changed in 3 years. There's been no new additions to it. It is, maybe they did an addition, or maybe they added some levels back in the day, so maybe 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, but after that, nothing has changed. If you look at this game and you look at the ratings, you'll see that, one of the common themes that you'll notice, and we'll look at some of these ratings here and some of these pictures that I've captured, right? So this is a typical rating here. It's not like the ad. They show a run and gun type game, and then you'll see the developer response, which is the Camel response here. And it's always going to be basically the same type of, look, it's an artistic interpretation of the game's actual gameplay. And then if you see any inappropriate ad content, please report it by this email. Every single game, every single ad that you have put out, Camel, is actually inappropriate. It does not really truly depict the gameplay. You have a great game, but clearly that is not what you're showcasing, and we're going to try to understand why is that. Like, are they silly? Are they smart? What are they trying to do with this clear, you know, clear, complete showing almost like a different game? So let's look at some of these ads, right? So let's dive into and actually look at some of these ads. So this is probably the most recent one. We watch it, and it looks pretty cool. Except there is nothing remotely close to this anywhere in it. Maybe they added it at some point. They planned to add it, but this is completely misleading. This game has nothing to do with it. This reading behind this. Forget about real gameplay. None of this exists in the game. This was made by somebody that clearly has never played the game. Anybody who administers this knows that this is misleading and has nothing to do with the game, right? That there's nothing like that in the gameplay. They're clearly trying to show you something that doesn't exist there. And why did I even look into this? So, I did a Let's Play series, and apparently that Let's Play series actually helped people figure out that the ads were misleading. So you can see here, look at these comments. Look at how many thumbs up that got, right? So this is a Let's Play series where I'm kind of showing the gameplay, and look at this. So all these comments here and all the thumbs up that you can see that people have given has helped people in actually disseminating that, look, the ads that you've seen in the game is actually very far from the real gameplay. So that's at least good that served that purpose. But you can see this not little block. Looks a little bit like looks a bit cool. It was. I think I was stuck down that there's some mini game did somebody actually make the music? Because that looks like a cool. And another question, what the heck happened to the giant cannon defense? So, that block thing event that happened, terrible rewards overall. What really happened in that block game event is I think it was you just put your name on a block. Here's the hero that's climbing up the ladder, automatically just shooting. So it looks neat. You get your name on a block, and that's it. It's like a toddler game, a counting toddler game. Had nothing to do with the actual ad that was shown, and clearly just misleading. You can see, this is on Android. I took some pictures. You can see here on Google Play that even if you look at it, look at some of the common themes. This is just, this is the reviews common theme of false advertising, right? I mean, it's just pay to win, scam. These are just people's reviews of the game. These are the keywords that came out of that. And, the same things, they just spew that common excuse that, look, it's an artist's interpretation of it. And some of these ads are really, really bad. And this one, you can see these are some of the old ones when it was called Age of Z, but, it's the same thing. This is actually an ad that plays when you're trying to download the game. Like, it's not even just an ad. It is their official ad, and the game has nothing to do with what's shown here. This is probably the very worst one. I mean, what the heck is going on? Not only is it inappropriate, there's no dress up in the game. This is completely misleading, and clearly, just applying to a sexual trope here, and absolutely has nothing to do with the game. Complete misrepresentation of it, just to get people to kind of, click on the game, download it. That's basically all that's happening. That one's a little dated, but still, nonetheless, it's from the official page. Like, basically when you go into the downloading the app, there's a video that you can play. The most recent video is showing this. You can even see, we can go into in YouTube and search for that video and you'll find it. Now, what are they trying to do? So what Camel is trying to do is very similar to what other games have done. And the why are they trying to do that? So what they've done is that basically, and some of these games, in UK, like if you've seen this, homescapes, gardenscapes were banned as misleading. However, do we have hope? The answer is probably no. So if you go into the FTC webpage, this is the FTC's site that has truth in advertising rules and laws, and you can see that basically they look at the FTC clearly says here that when you see an advertisement, whether it's on the internet, radio, television, or anywhere else, federal law says that ad must be truthful, not misleading, and when appropriate, backed by scientific evidence. This is not a truthful ad. It's not a tower defense game. Tower defense is a very, very small part of the game, less than 1%. And then those run and shoot games absolutely has nothing to do with it. It's not even a mini game, so completely misleading. However, it doesn't mean anything unless the FTC actually goes after these games. This is a freemium game. FTC really just goes after people that are people that pay money, that there's health risks. For a game that's free to download, the argument will be, look, you've downloaded the game, you've played it long enough before you have to make an in-app purchase. You've played it long enough to know that it's not what was advertised, and so you can't really argue that when you bought something, when you actually spent that money, that you kind of knew what you were getting into. So it's a harder argument. Is it false advertising? Absolutely. Is it unethical? Probably. Is it illegal? Maybe. Is it going to be prosecuted? No, because they can basically get away with it. So why do they do it? And the answer comes back to what essentially what is data and evolution of ads have shown, right? So they run many ads online to see which one gets the best reaction. And these ads that you're seeing with these high action kind of decision making, have actually gotten a lot of positive response. And you even think about it. How did you come to this game? I came to this game by looking at a tower defense ad. I looked for tower defense games, and that's what brought me to it. This game has very little to do with tower defense. What they figured out, and it's really interesting, is that these the people that are likely to spend money in this game and spend a lot of money like this type of ad are the ones that actually give into these ads, myself included. And here I am spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on this game several years later, thinking it was a tower defense game. Many of you are in the same position, or if you're not, you're about to be. So what they figured out, just think about it, right? Data mining is that they know that these ads work. So is it misleading? Absolutely. But what does it succeed in doing? It succeeds in you downloading it and playing it for a few minutes, and then you basically get hooked. It's still a good game. I enjoy the game, but what they're doing is this is targeted advertising for people that are likely to be whales. This type of ad appeals to them, it works for them, and this is their cheapest way of getting that customer that will spend tons of money. And there are people that spend tons of money on these games, and this is not the only one. That's why all these games are similar, like these decision making, like pick the guns, pick the the +2, the -2. It's amazing, how predictable this whole scenario is. So what can you do? It's a couple of things that you can do. Is some of the things that you're doing already, right? So if you go into the App Store and Google Play, write a review, talk about what the game really is about. This is my way of telling people what this game really is about, what it is, what it's not. It's not that fast-paced decision-making shooter game. This is not a run and shoot game, not at all. This is, the mini games that are there are a very, very tiny fraction part of the game. It's a strategy game. There's many games that are similar to this. The battle and the gameplay makes sense. It's kept me engaged for 3 years that I've been on this game. But I thought it was important seeing some of the comments on my videos, seeing some of these ads, seeing some of the Reddit conversations, seeing some of the Instagram conversations, all of these things that all of these, even this preview here, I mean, this is misleading. This is nowhere in the game. This is done intentionally. This is done to basically get the right people. What that tells you is that this game and the ad and the things that they're trying to do, they know a lot more about you than you really even know about yourself. And they are good at hooking you in, and they've built a good product, but this is not a unique product. I mean, it's a good product, but can you do anything about the false advertising? Unfortunately, no. You can report it. I think you can report it. You can report it to them. They're not going to do anything. You can report it on the app and the ratings, and that's the only way that we can really get the truth out there. Finally, as far as I will have an update on the progress in the battle for getting Camel to be more truthful about what is going on with the locked servers, what is going on with the frequency of mergers in these locked servers, and specifically, how that is still creating an unfair advantage in global conquest for those nations. So stay tuned. I am almost finished with my research. I have found more secret mergers that we will publish, and continue to expose the misinformation that Camel is spewing. I'll end with saying all of the views expressed here are my opinion and my opinion alone, and it's based on observations as well as just general opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion as a player and as a content maker. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. A new video will be coming. And make sure you go and see Nikki's video on 285 versus 457 Void.